Hey folks, Doug Blake with Body Design University. Now, this may seem strange to you, but a lot of folks, a lot of students always ask me, still ask me about what are the best containers or how do you do meal prep? So in this video, I'm going to show you, and I got them right over here, two really simple containers that I like to use for meal prep. So let's start off first with the concept of meal prepping. If I asked you the one question, I already gave you the answer. What is the best way or what's the best strategy to help your clients and yourself to maintain a properly balanced, strategic meal planning, food consumption, lifestyle? And the answer is right, meal prepping. It's as simple as again, depends on how much you want to make for the week, but it's as simple as cooking your basic foods. You have control. You have control over the type of food you make instead of going out. And there are obviously companies you can purchase meal prepped foods already. My recommendation is to definitely do it yourself. Cook your own chicken, cook your own this, cook your own that, and put them all together. And so we're always asked, what type of meal prep containers do you use? Well, this is the most basic one. It is obviously a Tupperware. It's a single container, single use container. You basically put all of your food into this. This is, by the way, this was actually a real big step ahead when I first started working out back in the 1980s. And we're talking about many years ago when Tupperware, of course, was available. But the idea that you could, get these perfect volume of food into these little containers was like, yes, fantastic. Well, today we still got them. Then you can buy 100 of them for next to nothing. Of course, the idea is that strategically, if you're going to use a single prep container such as this, where you put all of your food into it, you can do something as simple as rice, a meat, and a vegetable, something that simple. And they come in all different sizes. Obviously, what we want our clients to do is to at least, have 5 or 6 of these or more, right, for each of the meals that they would be creating for the week. So meal prepping, of course, strategically is the way to go. This is a great way to do. I still use these. This is my mainstay, especially if I'm using a standard starchy carbohydrate, if I've got potatoes or rice or whatever the case is. One thing, obviously, you want to make sure, because generally I'm microwaving these, right? I'm taking them from my fridge, throwing them in the microwave. That's why it's so convenient to do it. Don't put salad or something that you don't want to reheat. I've done that a couple of times, and you open it up and you're like, oh, that's right. All right, I had lettuce in there or something like that. But obviously, a protein, a meat, a starchy carbohydrate like rice or potatoes, or if you're using some sort of pasta and you're mixing it together and you got them in the right macro ratios, that's one way you can do it. Now, the other ones that I also like a lot are going to be multi-compartment containers, right? Really pretty simple, pretty straightforward. This is a see that, right? Two compartment container, and you can see the size is perfect, at least for the size of meals that I eat. Generally, the only reason I ever use these for meal prep is because I don't want to mix my whatever with my whatever. Otherwise, I would just use one of these guys and just throw it. I don't care, to be honest with you. I just throw it all in there and I, waft it down as quickly as I can. But in this case, you could, just as a for instance, and I do recommend it sometimes to clients that like salads, you might want to have a larger container where you're not going to reheat and you're simply differentiating between the two parts of your meals. Now, obviously, if I'm having a salad with whatever I put on it and I'm having cooked meal, then you would have to obviously use 2 containers, one that you're microwaving or heating up, and the other that's cold straight from the fridge, whatever works for you. Kind of the idea is that with a multi-compartment container like this, and I've used ones that have 3, even 4 compartments, depending on the type of vegetables that I'm eating. If I don't want to mix certain things, I also like to use these type of containers for raw vegetables. So quite often I eat carrots, raw carrots, and raw celery. And I'll just keep them like you see me at the computer right here, and I'll just keep them right here while I'm working. And I just eat. I'd like to keep them separate, right? Because I'm going to probably put these back in the fridge. So multi-compartment containers like this can be very helpful when you're trying to differentiate different vegetables. Just as for instance, often I'll have like guacamole, so I'll use avocados. And so in general, I don't like to mix like my avocado based stuff like a guacamole with my other food items. So again, this one is real easy because just as for instance, if I'm having guacamole or salsa and I'm mixing them together, I'll keep them in here on this side, and then I'll have my raw vegetables here. I'm not going to reheat these things. You get the idea. Just a way to make it convenient. So remember, this is just straightforward, and you got to make it simple for folks. I put rice, meat, and other type of starchy vegetables in here with my proteins and my fibrous material, fibrous veggies. Boom, throw the whole thing in. I can heat it up like that and eat it like that. But again, the goal here of the video is to kind of show you these two very simple. Don't make it so overcomplicated that your clients now are going, I thought you were going to make it easy and simple for me. Well, it is simple. Go ahead and buy 5 of these, and that's what you're going to use for lunch. Right? Now, remember, when I grew up, it was a brown paper bag. Yes, literally the brown bag lunch. By the way, that was the original meal prep container, just so you know. Look, if this was helpful today, real simple, very straightforward, and sometimes those are the best pieces of information you can get. If it was helpful, write understood, great, love it, whatever, in the comments section below. Of course, every week we want to bring you some relevant, helpful information for you personally, right? So you want to be on point, just so you know, as a trainer, or if you're going to be a trainer, you want to be on point with your nutrition and the way you handle your everyday life so that you can transfer that to your clients and show them this is the way I do it. I want you to do it the way I do it. That's why meal prep is so important. Dial it in yourself so that you can help your clients. Look, have a great week, and we will see you next week. Take care.